yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celeb news. Now today we have, oh man, we got keys, man. My keys say what up, yo. You know what I'm saying? What we got over here, man? All right, look, we got absolute insanity, man. So from prosecutor's tying Yo Gotti's late brother, Big Jook, to the killing of young Dolph, man. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. We got Dr. Umar with the distractions for you, you know what I'm saying? We also got Ice Cube on the Diddy parties, man. He's gonna tell you a little bit about that. We got the list. We got a list. We got a list of names. We got a list of names. We gotta tell you a little bit about who was at the party and who was at the party. Okay, we got folks deleting the tweets, man, and the excuses that they got. What else we have over here, man? Charlemagne the G, man, and I think that's about it. Again, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source. Hey, yo, if this your first time to the channel, man, be sure to hit that like button if you feel any part of the content. We definitely appreciate that. That notification bell's waiting for your tap, so go on and give it a tap. And subscribe button's waiting for your subscription, man. So go on and touch that. Check this out. Check this out. Didn't I have something else? I think I had something else. All right, let me give you this one real quick. Look, just when you was wait. Do I even want to cover this? Do I even want to cover this? Nah, I don't feel like covering this. Listen, okay? Charlemagne the G, he has spoken on the Diddler, and he has stated that bro turned to sex and drugs to cope with the trauma. I want you to take a listen to what Charlemagne the G had to say. Let's see if he made any sense. Take a listen.
Diddy, for some reason, he's either incredibly arrogant and doesn't think that he can be taken down, or he believes that he's innocent, or he believes that there are people that would go down if he went down, and they wouldn't want that to happen. People in
all of that could be true, or he could just be too far gone. He could be too far gone off the drugs,
you think
and the alcohol, and the power, and the ego, that he's just delusional as fuck.
That power does corrupt,
oh,
man.
my God.
You've seen it happen, huh?
Yes, a million times. Like, yo, man, there's actually, when I read the indictment, I'm reading it, I'm just like, this is just a dude that's power, he's super power trippy, super ego trippy, and it's the drugs, and it's the alcohol, right? If you ask me, I think this man, this is a podcast, and this is what we do on a podcast.
This is allegedly.
Yes, I think this man has so much grief and trauma that he's just always trying to escape. That's why it's always so much drugs, so much alcohol, and sex. He probably just does that shit just the run from whatever trauma he's never dealt with. I think it's the sex, the drugs, it just helps him to escape, and he's always constantly trying to escape. Because that's the other thing people are not talking about in this indictment. All the drugs they found, ketamine, coke, ecstasy. They said the night that the night he turned himself in, they picked him up or whatever, he had fucking pink powder in the room. Clearly the guy got a problem. Clearly.
I think he made absolute sense. In fact, I feel like that's what I think we was aiming at speaking on in yesterday's video. You follow what I'm saying? Look, the Diddler has experienced trauma, right? And he was quickly given power. He didn't process it. He didn't heal from it, right? And he was just handed power, and then he abused it, okay? Abuse is the abnormal use of a product, right? He abused his power. It damaged him mentally and emotionally. So he has to figure out a way to be able to look at himself in the mirror. He has to figure out a way to cope with it. And oftentimes, it's hard to do that with a clear mind. You follow what I'm saying, man? I mean, maybe if he didn't have an internal monologue, it might be easy. Because I just got like if I don't hear talking or anything like that, it's just empty space. Ain't nothing going on up here. But apparently, folks with these internal monologues, the chatter never stops. It's insane to me. Diddy, let me know if you got a internal monologue. I'm dying to know, okay? Never mind all that. Listen, okay? If he doesn't have an internal monologue, right? Or if he hasn't processed or healed from the trauma, right? It's drugs that will be utilized to cope with the trauma. I think a lot of people find themselves in this boat. Real talk, man. You follow what I'm saying? I think people take all kinds of substances, be it alcohol, drugs, whatever it is, okay? I think people take, and especially alcohol and drugs, because I think alcohol and drugs dulls the senses. And I wouldn't be surprised if it quiets the voices even. You follow me? Because they dull the mind, I think, like, you know, that keeps people from dealing with the full dose, the full gamut of what they're experiencing. You know, when Jesus was on the cross, they tried to give him like a wine on it. They try to soak a sponge, and I think it was like some kind of fermented vinegar or something like that. And they tried to make, because usually when they crucify somebody, just to dull a lot of the pain that the crucified person was experiencing, they would give him like wine or some kind of fermented drink on a sponge. And they try to give it to Jesus, but he ain't drinking. Because he was like, no. If I'm gonna be sacrificed for the sins of the world, I need to take this all in with a clear mind. You follow me? But a lot of people, I guess they figure they really can't deal with it. They can't take it, and that's where in order to be able to look at themselves in the mirror, they take the drugs and they take the drink. You follow me? I mean, look. I think it's honorable to not be on substances and deal with everything that comes at you in life just raw. You know what I mean? Like without the substance kind of muting it or dulling it for you. Okay, but maybe that might be easy for me to say because maybe my life isn't like what a lot of other people's lives are. So, but that's just not. But you know what? There are people whose lives are just as difficult as everyone else that takes drugs and substances, but they don't take the drugs and substances, so they can back me up. My bad. By the way, you know how we told you yesterday, right? That Usher deleted 7,000 texts? Well, he explained what happened. And it's the age-old, my account got hacked. Okay? This is what Usher posted. He posted this. He posted, quote, account got hacked and damn, y'all ran with it. Ha ha ha. Right? See you tonight at Intuit Dome. Close quote. Hey, look, I tell you what we ain't running with. We ain't running with the story that your account got hacked, bro. You follow me? Look, his account, right? It had 7.1K posts, right? I guess he lost it, and then it came back. It was like 6.9? Let me double check. Was it 6.9? It was, let me see. It was 7.1K posts, and then it was 6.8K posts. So what is that, like 300-ish, right? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. I think it's like 300. You're like, what kind of teacher were you again? Hey, look, man, don't come for me. Okay? I said I was a math teacher at one point. I never said I was a good one, okay? Yeah. 7.1K. And then the account comes back, but instead of it being 7.1K, it's 6.8. So your account got hacked, but then when you recovered it back, it was 10 pounds lighter. Come on, sir. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? No one is believing the account got hacked thing anymore. That's like my dog ate my homework. Are you serious? No one believes your account got hacked and you went live and you was hunching. No one believes that your account got hacked and then it came back with 300 posts suddenly missing, especially after the Diddy, you know what I'm saying? The Diddy party situation going on, okay? No one is believing my account got hacked anymore, okay? That's what, didn't the girl say that when she was, the girl that said that her vagina stinks so bad? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't even just put her initials in the comments. I don't even like to talk about her, nor do I like to put her name. I don't even want to mention her name, okay? Because I want that persona to die out, okay? I don't want her to die. I want that persona to die. Just put her name, her initials in the comments if you know who I'm talking about, okay? The girl that said every time she started blaming the condoms and stuff like that. She was like, the condoms, ooh, that condom smell like fish. She said the condoms made her coochie smell like, my bad. I'm sorry if you have kids listening. I apologize. This is not what they needed to hear on their way to school. Sorry, kids. Okay. Stay in school, please. All right. Anyway, since we talking about the diddler, okay? I mean, you kind of knew, you know what I'm saying? It was gonna go in this weird direction. Anyway, look, the Diddy list has come out. The Diddy list has come out, and I know, look, some folks couldn't wait. They couldn't wait till they dropped this list of people who found themselves at the tip of Diddy's spear at the party. You're like, are you serious? No, I'm not serious. These are, look, the list of people that attended the Diddy party. Jason Lee was like, oh, I can't wait to say the names of the people I saw. Take a listen to what he had to say.
A lot of these celebrities, every single celebrity in the culture has been to Diddy's house, which means they've gone through all his phones, text messages. I can read you my text message to Diddy. What day is it airing on the show, on the network? Are you coming on the show? Diddy, what's this? It's all been business for me. It's been business for me. I don't have nothing inappropriate to them people because I don't deal with them like that. So you mean to tell me all those late nights, what you doing, where you at? I've seen Jay-Z at his house. I've seen T.D. Jakes at his house. I've seen Chris Brown at his house. I've seen Jordan Woods at his house. I've seen Travis Scott at his house. I've seen Beyonce at his house. I've seen Tiana Taylor. I've seen them all. Now, we was all in the backyard, but I've seen them all. I've seen Usher there. I've seen DaBaby there. I've seen Justin Bieber there. I've seen... Everybody's been to a Diddy party. I've seen Lindsay Lohan, Ashton Kutcher, Demi Moore, Tyrese, Amber Rose. I've seen them all have been there. Mary J. Blige. I've seen them all. But just because you go to a Diddy party doesn't mean that you were getting sprayed down with Vaseline and baby oil. Because I can tell you right now, ain't nobody ever sprayed me with nothing. And I don't even play around like that. Let me tell you about me. I am so private with my personal intimacy that I love the fact that my business is private. Anything I've ever made public, I've talked about it on my show. I've been pretty much an open book with the activities, but I try to conceal the names because I don't want people bothering them. I learned as people started getting to know me, they would go track down anybody I'm involved with and then harass them. The people I deal with are private people. They don't want their business in the streets, and we ain't spraying each other down with baby oil.
Ooh, oh, y'all was at the party. Oh, y'all ninjas is at, look, them ninjas is probably furious with Jason Lee right now. They probably like punching the air like, if I find this nigga in the street, I'm gonna get his ass. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look. I think Jason Lee might have had good intentions, but do you know what a ninja could do with good intentions? You follow me, man? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. In other words, intending to do good, a lot of times that's not enough if the outcome causes harm or leads to bad results. Are you getting what I'm saying, man? I don't think it was good for him to throw those names out, especially with how hot it is right now. Let the feds take care of that part. If I was at the party, right, at this moment, I'll be like, man, I would just prefer to not have my name in the joint. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's a lot of people that went to the party was like, yeah, man, bro had parties. Yeah, I went, but I didn't bend over for bruh. Like, it's just that simple. A lot of people, like, I guess, a lot of these, let me just throw this out here, okay? A lot of celebrities, right? They love the limelight. A lot of celebrities, not all, but a lot of them love the limelight. They want to be as famous as possible. So many of them will be at what they believe to be the biggest parties, right? Of the biggest celebrities. Okay, so a lot of them will be at a Diddy party. I understand. Okay, if you know LeBron gets invited, he might show up. Okay, I mean, but I don't think. You know what I'm saying? I don't think just because he shows to the Diddy party, he's dribbling balls. You understanding what I'm saying, man? Look, if you got kids, look, listen, man. It's just biology. We just talking biology right now. And you know with biology, there are body parts that resemble other things. You getting what I'm saying, man? It's like an elbow, okay? Think of it like an elbow, all right? What was that? I forgot what I was supposed to be saying. I need some help. Okay, look. I'll tell you one person that wasn't at that party for certain. And that one person is Ice Cube. In fact, he could tell you that himself. Take a listen.
Almost 40 years rocking the mic. And I'm going to tell you right now, me and Dolph C ain't never been to a Diddy party, motherfucker. Thank God. You ain't gotta worry about us on them motherfucking tapes. Now check this out. Anybody in here that has, I got one thing to say to you. What you? I got one thing to say to you. If you've ever been to one of those parties, what the you got to say? Boy or girl, you better check yourself before you take that shit.
What an intro to an incredible song. I love that, man. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, because D in your mouth is bad for your health, right? You're like, yo, man, this is going off the rails. I know it's going off the rails quite some time ago. And this is gonna be a short video. I promise you, because I only got 2 stories left. I don't got nothing else to talk about. I mean, I do, but I don't, because, you know what I'm saying? I gotta take care of something real quick, man. You know what I mean? You know your boy Celebs got stuff to do too. You know that, right? You like, you don't sound like it. Yeah, but when I got something to do, man. Don't be sitting around here acting like I don't got nothing to do. Okay? Gosh. You're like, who you yelling at? I'm Dr. Umar. Let's talk about Dr. Umar for a second, okay? Dr. Umar has stated that all this talk about Diddy is merely a distraction, okay? To black people. Poor blacks. Oh, poor blacks. So easily distracted, man. You just dangle something in front of us and then we go run off. Take a listen to what Dr. Umar says about you black people, you Negroids, you Negroidians. Take a listen.
But you don't know why they did it at this time. I'm talking about the timing, not just the agenda, the timing. You know why they gave black people Puff Daddy during election season? You know why they gave black people Puff Daddy during election season? The reason they gave you Puff Daddy during election season, the reason they decided to serve up Sean Puffy Combs a few weeks before the election is they want to distract you from the laws that they are passing. They want to distract you from the policies that they are enacting. They want to distract you from the initiatives that they are implementing. This is a distraction. And because they know black people love to see black people disgraced, humiliated, and destroyed. They know black people love to see black people disgraced, humiliated, and destroyed. They said, throw them one of their own. Let's lynch another Negro today to send all the black people over here while we take care of business over here. This is a grand distraction. They always do this when they're planning something really, really big that they don't want black people to pay attention to. They always do this when they're planning something really, really big that they don't want American Negroes or Africans around the world to pay attention to. And we fall for the bait every time. There's nothing wrong with a conversation on Sean Puffy Combs. But when you scroll through black Twitter and you scroll through black Instagram and you scroll through black Facebook and you scroll through black TikTok and all you see is gossip and conversation about one man at a time like this, then you know you are engaged in a grand distraction. Sean Combs is a distraction. And anytime you see something like this, you should ask yourself, what are they trying to distract African people away from? One of the things they want to distract you away from, they want to distract you away from the fact that Kamala Harris and Donald Trump have no agenda for African people. One of the things they want to distract you away from. See, before they gave you Sean Puffy Combs on a silver platter, before they broke the news on Sean Combs, we were asking Kamala, what are you going to do for us. Before they broke the news on Sean Combs, we were asking Donald Trump, what are you going to do for us? September the 16th. He was arrested September the 16th. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks from election. Sean Combs was arrested September the 16th. Exactly 7 weeks from election. Why did they do it now? To stop the black political movement.
Hey, look, man, it's sad. Look, it's sad, man. It's very sad. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad that Sean Combs, right, might be a distraction to people that could only think on one thing at a time. You black people can only think on one thing at a time. You're either freaking focusing on basketball or you're focusing on rap, right? Or yourselves. You're so egotistical. Listen. Okay, I'm gonna behave myself today. I apologize. I apologize for my lowbrow humor today, okay? But ain't it sad though? Keys is like, hell yeah, right? It's sad, right? Us poor blacks, so dumb, so slow, so outsmarted and outmaneuvered, out-strategized. Because we so slow, dumb blacks, we can't think about black issues simultaneously because we's focused on rapping niggers. I think black people are smart enough, right, to be able to think about more than one thing at a time. You know what I'm saying? Like you could, good doctor, all right? If you could, then why can't we? See, once again, I disagree with bro. First, they try to tell us we cannot be racist, okay? They say black people cannot be racist. Trying to tell a ninja what he can't do. A black man can do whatever he want to do. If he want to be racist, he gonna be racist. If he want to think on two things at a time, that is Diddy and the election, then a ninja's gonna do that. But why are you saying I can't, bruh? I could. You see what I'm saying, man? I mean, hey, look. See, I disagree with bro, man. We don't, look, we do want to see and are still concerned with which political candidate is looking out for minorities. And we want to see any person abusing minorities get prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, okay? The hammer should drop heavily on a judge because he knows better. And if you black and you know what we be going through already, you know what I'm saying? Then the hammer should drop heavily on you from us. Is what I feel like. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, to be black and to know what we going through, then to turn around and do it to us into the cage with you, okay? This is not to say a white person shouldn't enter the cage that has done the same thing. Anyone that harms people into the cage, all right? Into slavery you go, you deserve to go to prison. That's why so many people want to see Mr. Guilty of 34 charges put in the cage. You follow me? They want Diddy locked up, but they don't want Mr. Guilty of 34 charges locked up. You understand what I'm saying? This is not a grand distraction. Believe it or not. A lot of people ain't thinking about Diddy, okay? Before I was covering hip-hop news, Diddy and his antics were the last thing on my mind. I wasn't thinking about it, okay? The Shade Room is huge. Please make no mistake. The Shade Room is huge. A lot of people do not know what the Shade Room even is, okay? A lot of people do not have Instagram. And a lot of people do not care about music artists, believe it or not. I know you'd be like, oh, but do you really care about what do you know the name? Name 4 scientists. You can't. That means you don't care about none of them. Right? I think. Listen, before 2020, I heard about Drake, but I couldn't name you 5 Drake songs. Yeah, that I heard on the radio, on rotation. And that's because, quite frankly, I didn't care. Diddy's arrest is a big deal to a very small group of people, okay? None of my coworkers mentioned Diddy. Not one. Actually, today, one student has finally mentioned Diddy. One, okay? Since the events, okay? To folks that live on social media, Diddy seems like a big deal. It's in every other post. But when I log off and go outside, start touching grass and stuff like that, none of my neighbors are talking about the diddler, okay? Only us. It ain't what I'm saying, Dr. Umar, right? Or anyone that believes what Dr. Umar believes. It's not that big of a distraction. Black people can think about more than one thing at a time. I'm sorry to belabor the point, but you tuned into a podcast. You ain't had nothing to do. You was driving, for crying out loud. Listen, Diddy ain't that big of a distraction. So much so that we can't focus on black issues, all right? 100-mile wide meteor heading to Earth, barreling towards the center of the United States, that's a distraction. Diddy is tiny. He ruined a lot of people's worlds, but in the grand scheme of things, bro is a blip. Here's what, you know what I normally do? I like to do, because I'm a teacher, right? So I like to use Google Earth, right? Because I teach, you know what I'm saying, like world history, you know what I mean? So I like to go to Google Earth because I love the way Google Earth looks. I like the way it operates, okay? I like to zoom in on where I am, I like to zoom out from where I am, just to show how small we are in relation to the rest of the world. Think about what Diddy is on the damn planet when you go to Google Earth. You follow me? You're like, can you go to the next story? I'll go when I want to go. Let me go to my shout outs. Where we at over here? I'm gonna behave. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm a little unorthodox today, but it is what it is. Okay. Where we at? All right. Shout out to War and Peace. War and Peace said, Jesus said, I am not greater than the one who sent me. Okay. So I said to War and Peace, well, the Son always glorifies the Father. War and Peace says, so why do we make Jesus his equal? And I says, well, the scriptures say that God was his father. And in saying that God is his father, that made him equal to God, right? And he was greater, speaking of his humanity and his role of submission to God the Father, okay? Because it's in Philippians 2. It said, let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus, who, being in the form of God, did not consider equality with God as something that should be held on to, but he humbled himself and took upon him the form of a servant. So Jesus said that the Father is greater than I am, in that God the Son took upon himself the form of a servant. War and Peace goes, so he says, so do we worship two gods? The Son or his Father, or both? And is the picture of a white Jesus considered idol worship? And are we Christians because our slave masters were Christians? And if so, should we follow the religion of the same people that enslaved us? I said, dang, War and Peace, pump your brakes. We don't worship two gods. Christians worship one God that exists in three persons. Each person is distinct from the other two. The three are co-equal, co-eternal persons. That's what Christianity teaches, if you read it through the scriptures, all right? Worshiping any one of the persons, either the Father, the Son, or the Spirit, is equivalent to worshiping one God, all right? Any one of the persons is one God. The Holy Spirit directs us to the Son. The Father directs us to the Son. The Son tells us we have access to God the Father on the basis of what he's done. That is his sacrifice on the cross. You understand what I'm saying? This is theology 101, all right? Jesus says to pray to the Father based on what he's done, based on his sacrifice in his name, all right? By the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit tells us what he hears from Jesus, and Jesus tells us what he hears from the Father. That's what Christianity teaches, all right? To answer that third question, the picture of white Jesus is not Jesus. That's just a white guy, all right? I think his name is Caesar Borgia or whatever. I think he was in Assassin's Creed 2 too. But Jesus was born in the Middle East, man. So he probably looked like Bin Laden or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And here's the other thing. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. Because, you know, a lot of, like, all black people look alike, right? Especially light-skinned women. Lastly, okay? To worship any picture, white or black, is idol worship. So don't worship anything, okay? And let me give you this last piece. We're Christians if we follow Jesus the Messiah, okay? Slave masters, they may have stated that they practiced Christianity and passed it to their slaves, but they wasn't practicing it if they was abusing their slaves and stuff like that. You follow me? Now, slave masters, they spoke English, they wore clothes, okay? So, I mean, we do that right now. We're speaking English. That's why when people be talking about, like, oh, you know what I'm saying, you know, like when they get on a real pro-black kick and they hate everything white, man, I'm like, well, why you speak English for, bruh? Why don't you go back and learn the language that you came from? They never do that part. They keep talking to me in English. A shout out to Siban Quran. I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry. She said, I love your channel. Been watching you for a long time. I like hearing the lessons you throw in there with the scriptures. I appreciate that. She said, as a woman raised Catholic, we never hear the word. We never do really hear the scriptures. I also realize I'm from a different culture as far as skin colors. Hey, look. We all bleed red. God made all of us. Okay. She said, my family are first-generation immigrants from Boston, so I have been around y'all culture my whole life, and I just want to tell you in the source, y'all get me through the day with your humor and your word. I appreciate that, man. That really does mean a lot. Real talk. Listen, thank you for supporting the brand. I grew up Catholic as well until somebody showed me the second commandment. Once I saw that second commandment, which is don't get down in front of any statues and stuff like that, I said, wait a minute. We got statues of Mary. We got statues of Jesus. We got statues of saints. And then I started reading the scriptures, and that's when I realized, like, oh, shoot, they mess with the commandments. So that's when I pulled away from the Catholicism. You know what I mean? And I was like, let me just focus on what's in the scriptures. And that way, can't nobody mislead me and stuff like that. So that's what I did, and that's what I employ everybody to do. That's a Christian. Study your scriptures, because you never know what people are leading you to do, okay? Start with the New Testament, and then go back to the Old. Start with the New Testament, and then go back with the Old. I'm getting on my Dr. Umar and repeating myself. Shout out to you, Saban. Brian Hicks, my man said, your source, love the channel. I listen every day as a Christian. How do you feel about voting for Democrats when they are for abortion and homosexual rights? I don't like Trump, but unfortunately his party is a little more in alignment with God's word. I wish it was the Democrats that were pushing more of God's words. I wish somebody was pushing God's word. That's for certain. Let me just throw this out here. I gave him a couple of statements, but let me just throw this out here, okay? When it comes down to this, because I know there's a lot of people in this boat, all right? I believe in moral integrity over party loyalty, okay? So if a candidate personally, if their character illustrates a pattern of infidelity, xenophobia, racism, dishonesty, that don't reflect my Christian values. I'm not voting for that person as a leader, okay? Here's the other thing. I'm firmly pro-life. A candidate who undermines racial justice, encourages violence, incites division, disregards the well-being of people after they're born, that's a cause for concern, okay? I vote for leaders who promote justice and fairness for everyone, including marginalized communities, all right? 3, as a Christian, I don't support someone whose personal and political actions contradict the moral values that they claim to uphold, okay? 4, I'm gonna give you 5. 4, there are no political parties. Read my lips. There are no political party, or at least read the caption, that are perfectly aligned with Christian values, okay? A lot of times, like, we got to vote for the lesser of two evils, okay? And in this election, I think it's more important to oppose the candidate that threatens the democratic process and encourages dictatorships, all right? Remember what bro said. He said, if you vote for me, I will fix it. His whole complaint was about the election being fixed. And now he's saying, I will fix it so you'll never have to vote again. To me, that's all you need to say, sir. Goodbye. Lastly, our ultimate trust is in God, regardless of who's voted in. All right? Your political parties cannot save us. Okay? I'm going to vote based off of what I believe will be in the best interest of the maximum number of people. All right? I can't vote for somebody who's against abortion, but is for the systematic extermination of a minority. Okay? And that makes statements that cannot be trusted. Who wants to give police qualified immunity so when they murder people, shooting them in the face for saying, I rebuke you, giving them qualified immunity. I'm good on that. To me, like, qualified immunity so that they can kill your sons, I'm good. So that's my position, Brian Hicks, in addition to the other stuff that I said, all right? I mean, plus, man, I can't vote for somebody that he's only looking out for himself, man, at the end of the day. And I know it, you know it, everybody knows it, okay? So this whole political party thing, I think, is a slick move to try to side with the people that are against abortion and jump on the ticket with them. You know what I mean? And act like, oh, you for, you know what I'm saying, Republican values, but none of your life reflects Republican values, except for the money part. Come on, miss me with that. And lastly, Stephanie. Let me just give Stephanie the shout out. She said, your holy boldness is a good thing. It's what we need. Nothing wrong with expressing your faith in God and the word. Did I read that yesterday? I think I did. Okay. But I appreciate that, man. We got to be bold, man. Don't be, we can't be scared. Can't be scared. Because they ain't scared. The world ain't scared. People ain't scared to tell you they'll kill you. They ain't scared to tell you they're going to pull down their drawers and do all kinds of craziness. So why should we be scared about repping the Most High God? Okay? He ain't give us a spirit of fear, but he gave us a spirit of power and of love and of a sound mind. You follow me? Lastly, shout out to the legendary Tony Steele of Smith & Wesson, man. I love this dude. You know what I'm saying? Super humble, and I love him for that. Okay? And he made some hot music. You know what I'm saying? He's a hot artist. Okay? Love Smith & Wesson, man. Shout out to Smith, shout out to Wesson. Okay? Steel and Tech. All right, let's get right back to it. Wrap this bad boy up, man. Shout out sections is long, but you know what it is. I do this for y'all and for nobody else. Okay? Anybody that don't like it, there's places they can go. And finally, ooh, this might be hairy, man. Between what Tia Kemp said about Rose, now with this situation, let me just tell you what's going down. All right. Let me just, didn't I just take a picture of it? I think I took a picture of it. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yo Gotti. Well, let me just put it like this. So, Yo Gotti lost his brother. I think it was like earlier in the year. It might have been this year or something like that. Now, prosecutors are saying Yo Gotti's brother, Big Jook, had put out a 100K hit on young Dolph. Okay? The prosecutor argued that Straight Drop was motive to become the record label's next big artist and planned to take his part of the 100K to help escalate his rap career. All right, that's the dude. I think Straight Drop is Justin Johnson. I believe it is. That's the guy that killed young Dolph. All right. It says during his opening statement, Shelby County Assistant District Attorney Paul Hagerman said that Big Jook, the brother of Yo Gotti, put out a hit on young Dolph, promising 100K to whoever killed young Dolph, who famously had animosity with CMG. All right. Now, let me read what the article posted. All right. It says Big Jook, the person I told you about before, was the #2 guy at CMG, and he put out the hit 100K to whoever kills Dolph. Close quote. That's the statement. The prosecutor said he has met with Justin Johnson. He's one of the people that kill young Dolph, and he has met with Cornelius Smith, and they think they're ready to do it. Okay, that was what happened between Jook and the two that murdered young Dolph. Okay, Gotti and Dolph have been having smoke with each other before Dolph was murked in Memphis in 2021. All right. Hernandez, Govan, and Cornelius Smith, they're going to face trial for Dolph's killing at a later date. And there's a fourth man, Jamarcus Johnson, already pled guilty last year to 3 counts of being an accessory to after the fact. Didn't I have something else on this? I think I did. Let me see if I can pull it up. Here we go. It says, so it looks like the trial is going on. It says Cornelius Smith testifies that he and Justin Johnson FaceTimed Yo Gotti's brother Big Jook to confirm that they murdered young Dolph. Jook allegedly responded he would, quote unquote, get up with them. Okay? It says Cornelius Smith, one of the men accused in the shooting death of young Dolph, says he talked to his lawyer about telling the truth. He testified how he got rid of the phone after receiving word of law enforcement being on to him and Justin Johnson, that straight drop. Smith says he only knew Justin for 3 months before the murder of young Dolph. All right. Smith testified on the stand that he is the man caught on surveillance with the long gun in his hand who killed young Dolph. These dudes testified on themselves on the stand. See that, man? Smith testified that he and Justin killed young Dolph. They FaceTimed Big Jook to confirm they murdered young Dolph. Smith says Jook responded that he would get up with them. I just told you that before. They got pictures of Johnson and Smith inside the courtroom, and it's not looking good at all. So some of the comments said, one comment says, somebody, Chef Jeff said, Gotti better start getting his affairs in order. Them people gonna tie this to him shortly. Okay. Other people talked about how they killed Jook. Somebody said, Gotti cleaned this ish up. Why you think Jook dead? He was the loose end. That's crazy. That's a crazy statement to say. He set his brother up to save himself. Yeah, people are talking crazy. They talking crazy. And I don't know if that's the case or not, but I guess with murder, you can't, whatever. I mean, it's just whatever. You gotta wait for the details to come out, I guess, in court. So they might, I don't know how this is gonna play out. It ain't looking good though. It ain't looking good. You have beef with somebody, then your brother go and somebody, you got beef with somebody, then the person get killed and they tie it back to your brother, and then it comes back to you potentially because you the one that had the beef to begin with. It ain't looking good. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, man. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celeb news.